up on stage and telling some of those jokes that your family and friends just love to hear? Well, now you have the opportunity. Every Thursday night, starting February 15th at Cooper's Pub, we are doing an open mic. The Kokomo Press is doing an open mic at Cooper's Pub in the downstairs comedy den. It's going to be awesome. It's going to start at 8 p.m. on Thursdays, February 15th. And we're going to be doing open mic with 10 to 15 spots for each comedian at 5 minutes a spot. Do not hesitate to sign up. Signups will be at 7:30 physically down there in the bar. Or if you want to, you can sign up early. All you have to do is message our page at the Kokomo Press. It's going to be a great time. We're going to have drinks and we're going to have food specials. And it's all a part of Cooper's Pub. You just go straight in, and instead of making a right, you make a left, you go downstairs, you make a left, and you're right down there in the comedy den. Myself and Brian Allen West are excited to see you, and we'll also have friends that you may know, like Jordan Bell, a.k.a. Hypocrisy Jones, Sean Dalrymple, a local comedian we love, and even Courtney Richardson. You're going to see us all out there. We're going to be having a blast. And again, it starts February 15th, but after that, it's every Thursday at 8 p.m. in the comedy den downstairs at Cooper's Pub. Hope to see you there.
I did it for The Rock. I did it for the people. I did it. Shut your mouth, you thong-wearing fatty.
Step into the ring, it's Monday Night Fire. My rhymes burn hotter than a funeral pyre. I'm the heavyweight champ, you can call me sire. Reviewing raw like a southern rap messiah. Crossing over lines like I'm Stone Cold Steve Austin. Flipping opponents like I'm Randy Orton. Dirty South flow, my words they be costing. Every verse I drop got them head nodding. Spit lyrical punches like a ruthless fighter. Got the crowd hype, I'm the crowd igniter. Breaking down the raw matches, no denier. Dirty style rap, I'm the Monday night supplier.
How goes it, household, window lickers, grunts, friends, my friends? You know what it is. It's a special day. It's Monday. It's the Monday review show, preview show, whatever you want to call it. You know what it is. And you know who joins me with his blue-eyed villainous. It is the one, the only, the Grunmeister. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good.
You froze there, man.
I'm doing good. It's a Monday. I've decided this week that I'm working starting work overtime every day for as much as I can. That's just the world we're in right now. We need the money. But you know what? We got a great Raw to talk about. We probably have a good Raw to watch tonight. Right? And at least for me, I got the Philadelphia Eagles versus Atlanta. The Falcons to look forward to later on tonight.
Yeah, you like gross things, so that's cool. We like Grun. We love Grun. He loves the Eagles, and he's gross. So I guess it all works hand in hand. But Grun, guess what we got? You know what
do
we got. I don't think the fans know. But fans, let me talk to you for a moment, because me and Grun, we had a blast with our last guest. Kevin Kalloway was amazing. He is known as the Chaos Goblin. He is known as one of the newest IYH members, and we have him here now for our third chair. It is Kevin Kalloway, the Chaos Goblin. How are you doing, my friend?
I thought we were doing a freeze thing, so I came in.
Yeah, I liked it. Grun threw me the hell off with it. I was like, oh my God, it's froze. We're going to have to restart.
See, Grun, you have to have more mimery with it. You have to have more mimery.
There we go.
In mind next time.
So before we kick everything off, Kevin, it's awesome to have you here. Now we have you on our third chair. You're coming in with your professional knowledge and plus your fandom of wrestling. So before we get started, I know that we did this with your guest spot, but give the fans just a real quick rundown of what you do, who you are, and what you're about.
Well, as I said last week, I am the Chaos Goblin. I am the Agent of Chaos. I am Kevin Calloway, and I tend to bring a lot of knowledge to the table simply because of listening over the years. I don't know. Listening is one of those things that a lot of people tend to take advantage of these days. They don't necessarily understand it. They don't necessarily bring it across, and I have gotten this way, and I'm able to speak these truths simply by bringing in that knowledge and being able to bring it back to everybody else.
I love it. I love it. Kevin, you are so well spoken and such a it's almost like we get told this a lot. When people watch our show, it's like watching wrestling with friends. So you fit that element that we were looking for, and we got our leader himself, Alacon Jerome.
He's
Folks,
here. He's
the
here licking windows
concept.
with us.
He's licking the
Yes, he
windows
is.
with us. He has been ever since he adopted me over here and brought the window lickers. He's just been a window licking fool. But guys, so like we always do, we start this show off with a little bit of fun outside of wrestling where we talk about different things. And sometimes wrestling gets intertwined in that because, well,
Yeah.
wrestling is water. I mean, come on. Who said it wasn't? Anyway, so guys, let's hit it off real quick. Anything outside of wrestling that you're coming across this week that's piquing your interest entertainment wise, or just anything noteworthy you want to highlight?
As a matter of fact, yes. For those that are a fan of this video game series that's coming out with a fourth game, it is bizarre, it is weird, it is psychotic, it is one of everyone's favorite looter shooters out there. One of the first ones to ever really do it and do it well. Borderlands 4 is in the works and likely coming out in the next 12 to 18 months.
Oh, I love to hear that.
That's
I love
good to
looter
hear.
shooters.
Yeah, now,
Yeah.
I personally would not count Borderlands as one of my favorites. I played the 3, and I see the appeal to it. It's got a charm to it. And you know what? As an agent of chaos, Kevin, I like chaos. I like the chaotic 12-year-old girl that likes making things go boom.
Oh, Tiny Tina?
Yes.
Yeah.
She like just the psychotic nature of her and her story and just making things go boom. The outrageousness of the character. It's kind of Joker, Harley Quinn. People love those because they're just so outrageous that you just have to admire.
I appreciate that they kind of take her a step further though,
Yes.
because they and this is what happened in their spin-off game is they said, "Hey, how can we make like two really nerdy fandoms come together into one like nice little package?" Oh, hey, let's make Harley Quinn the DM of a Dungeons and Dragons game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And it was majestically glorious chaos where things would just spawn in front of you. She'd be like, "Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. There's a monster in front of you. Good luck." What?
Well, I mean, I like the original Borderlands. I thought it was good. Even the whole series is well done. I have you guys, either one of you, caught the show or the movie or whatever they did with it?
I have not caught the movie.
I was very skeptical of it.
Yeah, so was I. I don't know if you guys follow him, but the comedian Bobby Lee, he got a spot in it, and he was talking about it, and he was saying it was very unique being on set because of, it's an apocalyptic wasteland. Things are happening. And then he looks over and Kevin Hart's the lead, which, Kevin Hart can do lead movies, but I never really was like,
Kevin Hart can do a lot of things, but I don't know if I would want to look to my side and go, Kevin Hart is my leader through this post-apocalyptic wasteland.
There we go. Yeah. I'm so glad you said that.
I believe that they picked Kevin Hart because people know that he's a smaller guy. His voice is like, it would be hilarious. It would be funny to some to see Kevin Hart as the leader of this ragtag misfits in this apocalyptic world. The issue is that Roland's character is not comedic in the games. He is the leader. He is the father figure to to people. They look to him as a leader. They don't look to him as the guy that used to date the girl with the magic powers.
Mm-hmm.
They were heartbroken. They were at one point in the second game. I'm not going to spoil it if anyone wants to play it, but you should play the second game because I enjoyed the first game. The second game I think has a lot more meat on the story.
It absolutely does,
and it's just a better game than the first one. Not again. I'm not hating on the games.
Let me pose this fantasy booking, so to speak, of a little bit of a recast.
Sure.
So I think Claptrap was well cast as Jack Black, but I also think if you wanted Kevin Hart in there instead, you could have. I would have picked one of those two for Claptrap, and I would have left Roland open for someone who does serious more, but can have a comedic element to it. And let me bring this back into pro wrestling because I think you could have went with someone like Batista.
Oh,
maybe
you've seen how he's done something with Drax where it's a bit more serious, but there's the comedic element of it. Like he's supposed to be a serious character and he can do the serious aspect, but then he's dead selling the other stuff where it's just like, come on, guys.
So Facebook has been weird for me lately. They've been showing me clips of Everybody Hates Chris. And this is where I learned that Terry Crews.
Oh, Terry Crews would be great too.
Yes, and that's where I'm going. Like,
yep.
I know Terry Crews is he's a much larger human being than the average person, and you can have him play a big tough role. But in Everyone Hates Chris, he showed that he can play a more sensitive side, a more fatherly side. I'm like, that probably would have melted so good with the entire story.
Yeah. I think you're right. Actually, I'm going to go with yours. I'm switching sides. I'm going with Terry Crews. I think that's a better call.
Ooh, look at that. Look at that, Grun. You're making new ways for everybody else.
When the man's right, the man's right. I look at evidence and I change my opinion. That's how life works.
That is very true. That is exactly how we were on this. Okay, so Kevin, is there anything outside of wrestling that you're into this week? We got Grun and his Leisure Suit Larry shooter happening, so that's happening. So
I am Leisure Suit Larry. Man, I haven't heard that game in a while.
I wanted to throw that in earlier, but I was like, hey, you pronounced Leisure Suit Larry wrong there, Grun. But he had a moment, so I let him run with it.
Kids, don't search that up.
Don't.
That
is not a kid's game. I'm getting into some medieval. I think this week I'm going to travel around with some Sir Daniel Fortescue in the remake of it. I'll be streaming that I think Tuesday and Thursday. But man, it was an awful sports weekend for Kevin. Awful sports weekend between both football teams that I proclaimed last week. They both let me down. Rams went ahead and got blown out by the Cardinals, and the Lions threw away a 5-sack, almost history-making performance by Aiden Hutchinson by not being able to play offense.
Yeah.
And on the cherry on top of all that, because I am a football fan, but I am the most fandom of soccer. And my team, Everton, who is in the Barclays Premier League, not once, but 2 weeks in a row, threw away a 2-goal lead to lose 3-2.
Oh my God. Sports has not been your fan this week.
No. The only sport that's been nice to me is baseball because it's the only one I've won money in. So
that's good.
That's good.
Sometimes the parlays hit. This time it's baseball. And I don't even like baseball that much, but that's where the money is at.
That's awesome. I love it. Okay, guys. So we are definitely having a fun opening show to this. You guys are everybody out there in the household. You're seeing the chemistry that's flowing, but I have to break this news to you guys. So we had an incident on Monday Night Raw. It was not a good one. It was a horrific one. We had Kevin Owens and his tag team partner. Ricky really stepped up for KO, and he really, he wanted to show us that he wanted to show the WWE world that he meant something. And, sometimes a stunner comes out of nowhere and just really kicks you in the face. So we're going to kick this to here. Here's an update on the old Ricky per Kevin Owens himself.
So I'm like, okay, let's go. Who can be my partner? I asked Booker T because he's still upset from when a few years ago I was talking bad about Texas.
Yeah, I remember that.
He holds a grudge, it turns out.
Of course.
Then I asked RVD, and he said, "I'm sorry, I'm already on another planet," which was, I didn't know what he meant because he was standing right in front of me.
I know.
You know what? Okay, I don't know. Yeah. But anyway, and then here's Ricky. Ricky overheard, stepped up and said, "I'll be your partner." That's who Ricky is. The only one who was man enough to step. Speaking of him, there he is. Hey, man. Thanks a lot for that.
The only guy,
Ricky, the only
in
one
the whole building that stepped
I
up.
know. I really appreciate that.
Did you have to stun me?
Okay, that's on me. I got a little excited once I heard Randy was here. But I apologize for that. But still, thank you, man. I really appreciate that.
Dude.
Yeah.
Thanks for stepping up. Ricky,
Yeah, hell yeah.
Ricky from Seattle.
Ricky from Seattle.
I love it.
The only Ricky that matters.
Yeah.
You want to? Is your bus out there?
My bus is out there.
Want to go on Red? Can I invite him on it?
Well, RVD's actually on that other planet. RVD's.
It's your bus. I'm going to ask him what he meant. Can Ricky come?
Ricky, you're invited to come to the Planet Randy's bus.
All right.
Yeah, let's do it.
So Planet Randy's bus is where Ricky got to actually go after his stunner he took. I mean, it was you know what? What a consolation prize. You get to hang out with RVD. You get to hang out with Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, and you're going to go on another planet. So that's fantastic to hear. We got
one
some
stunner
people...
for all of that.
Yeah. Kevin, would you not take that stunner in front of all those people?
Make that stunner look like $1 million for that level.
Oh, yeah.
All right. We got Doc Fox coming in. Yes. Also, blue-eyed should be blue-eyed. Yes. Thank you, Grammar Police, Doc Fox. I am glad to see that badge is paying off. In all honesty, Doc, thank you for that correction. But, I'm going to leave it like this because I like it like that. So, anyways, guys, what do you think about Ricky? Do we got a movement for Ricky? Is this a one-off? We've all been a part of wrestling. We all know that the smallest thing blows up big. So, is there anything that we can get from the Ricky incident?
I'll lead this one. So, I don't know if you guys remember a man named James Ellsworth.
Oh, I
Yes.
do.
I do.
Yes,
And there's other ones that give me vibes like this, but I don't know. The movement probably catches on enough. That he gets another crack at it. But I don't know if it goes that far. Either way, he's going to get looked at probably for extra work until the end of time, which means he's got a nice paying gig.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
So
Conventions are going to love him.
If nothing else, like this man's about to make bank for the next month.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah,
should.
100%.
And he should.
For
He just made
performance like that.
He made that spot. He didn't even get a promo. He got a name. That's it. He came out like $1 million and it worked.
Yeah.
It really did. It really did. We got one of Grun's friends coming in here wanting to know if we can turn this into a soccer podcast for one night. You know what? It's Maydew, right? Or
Yes.
how do you say that, Grun?
Maydew.
If you can get Window Lickers, Twitch, if you can get us and In Your House Twitch channel, if you can get both of those 3 more followers on each of those, I guarantee you I will make one of these nights a soccer podcast night, and Kevin can teach me soccer.
Yeah, I got it. I can do this. I'll host it.
Yeah, we will do it that
That's probably
way.
going to be done within the hour.
Well, Grun, we're going to have to put on a fake face, and we're going to have to act like we know what the hell we're talking
I'm
about.
gonna send you guys soccer jerseys, and it's just gonna be random teams from like League One.
I'm okay with
Because
that.
those
I
are
like
the
that.
cheap jerseys.
I like it. I love it. I absolutely love that. So, Maydew, there's the challenge. If you can get us on IYH and over here on the Window Lickers, if you can get us 3 more followers each, we will definitely do a soccer night. and the host that you're relating to the most now, he will host it, and I will learn soccer. So that's where we're at on that one. Grun, real quick before we we already got him. It's a deal. Okay. Yeah, we will make you a guest.
Oh, we get to work out the team for Grunt. Oh, I'm here for it.
5 follows for a hot.
We're just gonna play
podcast.
20 questions with both of you,
Jesus.
and we're gonna pick your team off those 20 questions.
Works for me. Works for me.
I mean, you know what? Why not? Why not a Hot Ones podcast somewhere down there?
I would do a Hot Ones. I'm a great celebrator of hot food. I literally I went to Dave's Hot Chicken today, and I got me 2 Reaper tendies, and I get those on the regular.
Oh.
So when I tell you I do spicy stuff and I'm ready for a Hot Ones podcast, here we go.
I love spicy. I love it.
All right, so we got the challenge out there for you guys out there and the fans.
We're gonna just end up turning this into a party podcast. That's all it's gonna be.
A party podcast now. We should be doing Hot One Raw reviews. We're gonna have a new ticket come up, and we're just gonna be Hot Ones Raw review or Raw preview.
Yes.
Absolutely loving everything going on here. Okay, so Grun, real quick, Ricky, you see anything happening after this, or are you leaning more towards Kevin? Grun.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking.
No,
sorry,
no,
what?
to you.
I
already said my thing.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we're on to you, Grun.
Okay, please repeat what you said.
Okay, the Ricky incident.
Yeah, the Ricky incident.
So are you thinking he's getting big checks out of this, or you think he's going to ride away for about a month? You know, collect his little indie checks around here and there.
I think he's going to ride the wave for about a month. I think because James Ellsworth, his thing was all he needs to have a chance is be a man with 2 fighting hands, and like it was like he was given 30 seconds and he made the most of it. Mm-hmm. Ricky did the exact same thing. I don't think it's going to be on the level of James. I don't think it's on the level of James Ellsworth, but it was a very good selling. I know that he was booked to wrestle on AEW Dark, I think, Wednesday or something. So he
got something.
Make your money, man.
Yeah. So he's doing well for himself. I think he's a world champion at a smaller promotion. So it's not like that he really needed it. It's just it brought more attention to him. So I think it might just give his career a little bit more boost. He maybe he'll make it to TNA one day. Maybe.
Yeah. I found it fun, and I liked the fact that they brought a lot of fun to that match, and I like the obscurity in WWE when they play around with it. But guys, we need to get to this big hitting topic. So Sami Zayn, he popped the question, and Gunther said no. There was no. I'm going to make that larger here in a second, but there was no thought. Gunther just said, you know what? No, I don't think so. I don't think you need what you're demanding. You don't deserve it. You don't. Honestly, you're not deserving of what he's trying to put out there and what he's trying to bring to that, in his opinion. I'm not saying that that's my opinion or it's any of our opinions here, but it is definitely an opinion of Gunther that Sami Zayn has not done what he needs to do to earn a title shot. Where are we on this with this specific one? What are you guys feeling with Sami Zayn? Is he deserving of it? I mean, for Christ's sakes, Gunther told Bret Hart that Goldberg was better. What a slap in the face for any fan.
That's my favorite line of the last week.
Yeah, it was good. We got the Finn one up. Sorry about that. So let's speak on the Gunther thing though. Where are we with Sami and Gunther? What are you guys seeing? Are you enjoying it? Do you think there should be another rematch?
I think, yes, there should be one. But if we're looking at it and we're looking at it from a storytelling and kayfabe way, has Sammy done enough in recent memory to be there? I tend to agree with Gunther. All Sammy did was lose the IC title, lose the rematch, and now he's saying he just immediately bumps up. He's really only won tag matches other than that.
True.
So
True.
I think a nice win here on Raw would solidify it, and then he can keep coming back to the well. I think that's the way to do it. Because I don't think specifically you can hang your hat on, well, I beat you that one time. Even though the one time was meaningful, don't get me wrong. It was a very meaningful win, but it's just one time.
No, you're 100% on that. It is just one time.
So unless Gunther is offering the opportunity for him to get redemption, why would Gunther care?
I like it. I like it. Grun,
Yes.
where are you at on this one?
I am on the side of Sami Zayn is not. He should not be the next challenger for Gunther. I think he can be a challenger down the line. I don't think now is the time. I think Sammy is at this point he's looking for anything to fight for because he does not have anything going for him right now. Braun Breaker is starting the run of his career right now, and he's gonna be fighting Jey Uso at Bad Blood, so that's should be a really good match. But Gunther, I mean, how long are you gonna hold on to that one time you beat him? That one time you beat Gunther, that was a great win. No, nothing wrong with that. But Gunther went on to win the IC title or win the King of the Ring tournament, pick up a bunch of wins there, and then when he wrestled next, it was for the World Heavyweight Championship, and he won regardless of how it happened.
Yeah, and I guess that poses another question though. If not Sammy, then who? Because if we're looking down the Raw roster right now, I don't see a lot of guys who are put in the position to challenge Gunther and be believable. And I think that's another question to pose. Is Sammy the only option right now? Damian Priest is tied up with Judgment Day business. You've already beaten Randy Orton. He's back on SmackDown. So unless you're going to cross over another guy, Jey Uso's tied up with Braun Breaker because he'd be the other guy I would have thought of. But then again, do you want Jey Uso eating another L for the world title? Because I don't think you want it to be Gunther losing here either.
No.
So then, who? And I think that's the conundrum they're in right now, is they don't have people to put up against Gunther unless they're going to start making other people first. So they need a placeholder, and they can really draw out this Sami Zayn one. He doesn't have to face him in the next month. He could keep drawing this no out until eventually he's pushed to a point where he has to. Or maybe Sammy earns it over that next month. And I think that might be what we're going to end up seeing.
I think what something we could see is what we end up seeing is maybe Drew McIntyre gets his win over CM Punk at Bad Blood, and the following Raw, he approaches Adam Pearce like, all right, I'm ready for my world title match. Sami Zayn bursts in, says, hold on, Adam, let me fight Drew for the number one contender spot, for the next spot, to be the next challenger. Drew obviously saying, why? I just beat CM Punk twice. I have never won a Hell in a Cell match. I just won my first. What have you done? You have been losing, Sammy. Why should I have to fight you to win what is mine?
I like it. And we got Hypocrisy Jones jumping in. He says, I think Sammy is perfect opponent for Gunther with their history and considering the back and forth they had with Braun.
I agree with that,
Hmm.
and I'll tell you why. Sami Zayn, other than Rey Mysterio, is one of the best smaller guys to make big guys look even bigger. So if you want to make a giant look good, Sami Zayn's one of the top dudes in the entirety of world of ever that has ever done it to make a big guy look good because he can sell his ass off.
Oh, I like what you're saying there. That makes total sense. Grun, final thoughts on this.
Okay.
And then we're going to move on. But I want to pose this to you real quick. What hasn't Sammy done to deserve this?
Well, I would say if Sammy can beat Ludwig Kaiser in a match, he will prove that he's in the ballpark once again of Gunther. Because Gunther would not be keeping Ludwig Kaiser around if he did not believe Ludwig Kaiser was at least close to his level.
Okay. Now, Kevin, let me pose this question to you before we finally put a ribbon on this. For Sammy to beat a guy like Gunther and take a title off of him, doesn't that speak enough for him to maybe be the one to demand a shot? I mean, he's the one who's given the most impressive loss to Gunther himself.
You aren't wrong. So he definitely can stake a claim. It's more, it's less of, hey, what have I done before, and more of what have you done lately?
I like it.
I think that's the big thing for me is
okay.
If he would have had some of the wins leading up to this point, and he had that win prior, I think I'd have a very different opinion.
Okay. Well, don't put that microphone away there, Kevin, because we got your subject coming up right now. And let's talk about it. Kevin, this is what we're going to call for right now until we come up with a official name. We have Grun's Talk. This is a taste of chaos because you are the Chaos Goblin. So, Kevin Kalloway, let us know what your subject is and what you want to talk about.
All right. So I had been waiting for this group to form. I had been waiting for this new almost team angle to form for the last 5 months. And then they finally formed together, and all they have been doing has been eating L after L after L. So, the question that I pose, how do we make American Made great again? Because right now, they don't have a solid win over almost anybody other than American Alpha. And they weren't in the best of positions to begin with. So is that big of a win? How can we make Chad Gable the killer that we all know he is and come off that way? They need wins. They need a meaningful feud. The Wyatt feud wasn't bad. They just ate a lot of L's. So the question I'll pose to either of you, how can we rehab American Made? How can we get them back to a prominent position?
Well, Grun, I'm going to start this off. And in my opinion, first and foremost, you're going to have to get out of the shadow of the Wyatt Six. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, right now, that's what's captivating. That's what's taking over. But in that street fight, did we not see exactly what they were capable of? What they bring to a match? I mean, Redbeard got thrown through a table pretty aggressively. I mean, that was some gnarly. And Ivy Nile took a trash can with a kendo stick, like Cactus Jack would have took, and then a drop kick. So I think if they stay on this path that they got going, I think we will see them. I think they will be great again. I think they will be taken down because let's be honest, Chad Gable, if you like the character, great. If you don't like the character, great. But you have to respect the in-ring work. And to have somebody like Chad Gable behind you who you can pick their brain on certain things, who has kept himself relevant. I would say he is our James Ellsworth, but with actual like physique and like wrestler look. So for me, they have to stay on this task that they had last Monday. And if they stay on that task, we're going to see some great things from them. A feud that I would love to see them up against is the Street Profits. And I want to see it big and bad and just aggressive, almost like on I'm going to be careful because I kind of want it to be like the New Age Outlaws versus Chainsaw Charlie and Cactus Jack. I want them to be that aggressive tag team who's willing to just be out there and take whatever they can, because at the end of the day, that's what every other tag team in the WWE is. Because right now it seems to be focused on, woe is me, Chad Gable has hurt his knee, wah, wah, wah. It's not, oh, we're not gelling. We're not becoming the group. We're not being dominant when we should be, because look at the talent you have. Grun, I'm going to kick it to you.
Yep. So I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, what would be a logical move? If I were Chad Gable, how would I move past the fact that we got beat by the freak show, the Wyatt Six? How would I get my guys and Ivy Nile back on the track of winning? And I came up with this. Something we haven't seen for a minute. I would tell the Creeds, I would tell Ivy, listen, I'm going to put you guys through the ringer and then remind everyone what you're capable of. I'm going to have both of you go through gauntlet matches. Just Julius and Brutus, they're cool with that. Ivy, they're cool with that because they know this is supposed to push them to their limit and to see, can they wrestle smart and can they get wins? Can they get wins fast? Can they demonstrate the intelligence that they have to match Chad Gable's? Can they be the star students that Chad Gable's looking for? Now, maybe Chad just puts them up against a bunch of jobbers. Maybe that's all it is. But either way, you have them wrestle 3-4 matches in one night in a 30-minute time frame. You've now shown that they can get stuff done fast and that they have the skill to maintain durability, endurance through a taxing task or challenge.
I like that.
I actually like that a lot because it does it right away. It establishes back, hey, the only reason we lost is not because we aren't killers, it's because we were fighting killers. And I really like what Hypocrisy Jones is saying in the chat, because now I was going to ask you to put it up, but I'm glad you did. I like the idea of a Chase U against American Made, but actually this raises even a larger point for me. If we can bring up other people and make their first feud a meaningful one with American Made, I think that makes two things at once. Because the guys coming up from NXT do not have to win. We've seen that under Triple H's rule. We've seen it where they come up from NXT and they might eat some L's. And that's okay because they still look relevant. They look like they're a threat. Because they look like they're a threat, we can get a good, meaningful story out of something like a Chase U versus an American Made.
Yeah, I love it. I love all the ideas flowing with this one because we are, and like House is saying, he wants to see American Made and the Wyatts
it's
far
over
from each other. Yeah, I mean,
yep.
It was great. It really was. It was a fantastic way to bring the Wyatts in. I mean, the video package from the last Monday Night Raw was spectacular. Every other video package they have given us has been spectacular. So I'm looking forward to this. I'm really can't wait to see what both teams do apart from this feud. Yeah, I'm with hypocrisy. I kind of want to see it. And then just like you said, Kevin, I think to make them great again is exactly like you said, use them to highlight other teams coming up and just bring it because they have the capabilities of doing it. They know Chad Gable knows what he's doing.
Chad Gable can make something out of nothing, and that's been proven year after year after year after year.
Very true. Very true. So let's stick on the other side of that coin there because, well, Grun, we're going into Grun talk. Here we go. Grun, tell them what you want to talk about.
I want to talk about exactly the question that Hypocrisy Jones has put in the chat because he and I are on the same wavelength as this. What is next for the Wyatt Six? Now, I believe that the end goal is to have the Wyatt Six possibly be the ones to dethrone the Judgment Day, or at least break up the Judgment Day. Okay, now that them being an American Alpha does not feel like that you've set them up for that. And I think if you're going to get to that point, you need to give Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy more solo time.
Mm-hmm.
So insane.
I'm sorry.
No bye here though.
No.
No strings attached to this.
No. What I can so I believe this was pointed out on I think it was Jones who pointed or Khan, our boss, pointed out yesterday on the Sunday House Party that there was a Wyatt Six logo hidden in a segment with Nick Aldis.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if the Wyatt Six are being allowed to move from between Raw and SmackDown, I think their next targets would be Legado del Fantasma. Because what Bo Dallas is going after people that call themselves a family. Legado del Santos calls what he has a family. But they're not strong. They're not as united. They're not as they're not a well-oiled machine. So Bo Dallas is going to test them. Now maybe the Wyatt Six lose, but maybe Bo Dallas or Uncle Howdy spins that in. And we won. We made you a family. You should be grateful. And now we're going to allow you to find the dominance, find the destiny that you so claim. Good luck, brothers.
I like it, Grun. You turned into Paul Bear's little brother.
So it's almost like a reverse Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
Because Bray Wyatt, whenever he feuded with someone, they would immediately change. Heel, or they would change another way.
Yes.
So instead of hurting one glove, we are healing the other glove.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. I like
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it makes sense too, because it's even another layer to the the Uncle Howdy, whatever you want to call him.
Whatever
the Uncle Howdy character.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, to me, he's always going to be Bo Dallas just because I absolutely love the Bo Dallas character.
I do too.
I thought it was great. I thought it was fantastic for WWE. But with this iteration of what we have with his concept, Bray's concept all together, and then Bo's little sprinkles of what he wanted to do with it, this is fantastic. I love exactly where you're going, Grun, where he's the healer, he's the bringer, he's the Oprah of the WWE, where he's just bringing them together and they're going to have a fantastic time, and you get a car and you get a car and you get a car. You know, I think that would be a perfect thing for the Wyatts next? Because now you've closed the chapter of us knowing exactly what he's doing. He's out there to make sure that if you say you're a family, you're going to represent your family. You don't betray your family.
Yeah.
You don't go against your family. You stick with your family. And he's showing these other tag teams, these other families that way through a brutal way and a violent way. But that's what's poetic about it, that you can have such a dark entity. And that's where we've seen Uncle Howdy ask his brother, or ask Bo, how he felt when his brother died. That is dark and twisted shit. You don't ask a man that on camera. You just leave it alone. We know how he felt. He was sad as fuck. Look at him.
Yeah.
Well, I will say dark is in the eye of the beholder. We might societally feel it as dark, but maybe he is feeling it's more of rehab. Maybe he is going into the light with it. So it just depends.
Yeah. I like where you're going, because there was a way that Bray also had that with the Wyatt family. He didn't always just destroy you and eat your world. There was a lesson that you learned from dealing with the Wyatt family, and Bray especially. And like Jones is hitting it on the head here. He's got the healer of families. It's a cleansing. Yes, you're speaking exactly where we're going with this. So yeah, I'm all for what you guys are talking about. Grun, what you threw out there, I love that aspect. I hope they go that route. It kind of seems like they are. Kevin, your insight on all of this is on a different level than ours, and you see it from a working aspect. What are you seeing in this one?
I think you guys have hit the nail on the head based on what evidence we've been presented so far. These are still in the fledgling stages of their character growths. So we are just really still getting introduced to them and what they're all about. They've had one feud. We haven't really seen where it goes, but let's go down the booking that we're going for, or maybe the potential feuds. I like the idea of Legado del Fantasma, first of all, because they're excellent workers who need something to do. Give them something in the spotlight. American Made can literally spin off and be healed. So now they are rehabbed after this feud. We can go that way and then go that way with Legado del Fantasma, assuming we can do that. Now, what I would like to see, I think, and this is one of the bigger things, and I think actually Annie O'Neill touched on it in the comments. I would love to see Nikki Cross wrestle more. Because what I feel might happen is that she ends up a side character if we don't give her some women's matches singularly. Now, I'm not saying we can't have things like the street fight we got. I think that was a great use of her. And I think it was a great use and showcase of her and Ivy Nile. That being said, I would like to see her go into some singles, because I feel the other three will be tag, and Uncle Howdy will be his own entity. So if we're looking at it in a dichotomy of a faction, you have your three-piece team, you have your leader, and then you have your female representative. We need to make sure that we're building Nikki Cross with it. I get that she can do the spoopy stuff, and that's a really good thing. But we need to build some credible wins with her too, just to bring her back.
No, I 100% agree with that. That was perfect. And like you alluded to in the street fight, having her just bull rush the ring, and then her and Ivy just have the most impact. They were the first ones to bring out weapons. They were the first one to use tables. It was the first
intergender street fight, I think, in WWE's history.
Yeah, I tried to think of one in the past.
At least since the PG era, since they had women on male violence not be a thing. There might have been some prior in the Attitude Era. I haven't watched every Raw from that era, but they were pretty wild.
Yeah, they were wild. Let me tell you, I
want to
watched
stay in
every
history,
Raw.
but like in the last 20 years, probably is accurate.
They used to go the limit on that one. Okay, Grun, wrap up this one real quick. Let us know so we can get to the last one. The last topic is going to be our quick fire one. It's going to be Finn. We just need to know if you guys are into what he's doing. But go ahead and cap off the Wyatt 6.
Yeah. So I think in this whatever's the next stage, we are probably going to see more from Dexter Loomis. We're going to see more from Joe Gacy. We're going to see more from Nikki Cross because of all the members of the Wyatt 6. Those three are the ones that need the attention the most. Dexter Loomis and Nikki Cross because they need rehab because they've been in the wayside or non-existent or lackluster for the last year and a half. Joe Gacy needs it because there is probably a decent amount of the main roster audience that doesn't know what Joe Gacy is about. And they need to be introduced to Joe Gacy and see that Joe Gacy, while he fits in the Wyatt 6, he can be his own character. He can be his own man. And in all this, I believe that Dexter Loomis is actually going to be the breakout star of the Wyatt 6.
I like it. I
could see that. I think I actually agree with that as well. I think I like his new look. I like that he's showing more personality. He looks like he thinned out a little bit so that he can move better. And I like that because I think it suits him more.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, the look, we in wrestling are always told to pass the airport test. And what the airport test means is if you walk through an airport, do people think you're somebody?
Oh.
Dexter Loomis walks through as the Bond villain that he was prior. He might not get as many glances, but with those dreads and his new look, I think he passes that airport test even more.
Yeah, I agree with you. I like that insight too. Grun, did you know that?
No, I did not know that, but I definitely buy it because I mean, like, think of rock stars. A lot of them have exposed tattoos and a whole bunch of stuff. Like you look at them, like you think, like you may not know who they are, but you like, geez, they got a lot of ink. They can afford all that ink, or they got this really nice hair or really nice clothes, whatever. Like you look like somebody. You look like you matter.
They're playing the gimmick, the rock and roll gimmick. And, I get that. And Grun, if you ever come to my neck of the woods, all those people with all the tattoos all the way up to their neck and everything, they make meth. So stay away from them. You don't want to hang out with them. They're gross.
Well, maybe they have other art forms like color.
No, not in this area. No, they're meth makers. That's what they do.
All right, good to know. All right.
So real quick, guys, because I absolutely love the back and forth with the Wyatt storyline. We're definitely going to keep talking about that on future Mondays. But let's get into this real quick. Rapid fire. Let's talk about Finn and what he's been doing lately. Has Finn hit the next level for any of you guys? Are you buying what he's doing in the ring these days? With, I guess, is he the leader of the Judgment Day? This new Judgment Day that we're seeing, is he? Because it kind of seems like he takes the leadership role, and then when it's like, hey, we need to question the leadership, he's like, nobody in this group is a leader, and then we hear his spiel. But are you guys buying this? Real quick, Kevin, why don't you start us off with this subject?
Yeah, I'll try and keep it succinct. I think he has not hit the next level for me.
Okay.
Now, and I will preface it this way. His in-ring work is some of the smoothest shit you will ever see. And he's a phenomenal bell-to-bell guy. But the problem is he's been in this group for so long. He's been in Judgment Day for so long. And he was kind of like, he felt to the side of Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley. And now he is presented as a figurehead, presented as the final boss of Judgment Day, essentially.
Yeah.
But with the two storylines going on, it feels like things are split. So it's going to be hard for him to ascend up to the next level of like thought process in people's heads based on booking and stories and importance, relevance, anything you want to call it. It's going to be difficult to go up with Dom and Liv still feuding with Rhea because it's always going to get muddied down.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna dominate no matter what space they're in. And I agree with you on that one because, I mean, who's to say that those two, I mean, just Rhea and Dom, take Liv out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Those two have dominated the audience for going on a year, a little over a year now. They've been fun, and Dom has been the biggest heel that we've had in a long time, and he's played so well into it that it's almost the reason to watch him, to see how he's going to react when the crowd won't let him talk on the mic.
And
I love
that's
those
another
moments.
thing, though. Finn isn't the most over heel in his group, so he's being overshadowed by that too.
Exactly, and I love how that it kind of, we could possibly see that be something that spoils this group later on. So Grun, why don't you hit us? Where are you at with your Finn thoughts? Is he hitting for you?
So he is hitting for me. But I do see Kevin's point in he hasn't reached that next level yet. So I'm gonna say there is a difference between him hitting. Like, I like what he's doing. He is not next level. And at this rate, I would dare challenge that the next level might actually see a return of the Demon King Finn Balor. And because now I am definitely hesitant to even say that because it was turned into a tacky gimmick that Vince used to sell merchandise. Whereas I think under this regime, because it's been a while since we've seen the Demon King, the Demon Finn Balor, Finn can be in this new blood feud that he's in, while in new blood feud that he's in with Damian Priest. I think they can build a story around a reason why Finn has to bring out the demon and explain it to the fans that this is not a gimmick, this is not a character, this is my dark side. I am bringing it out to kill Damian.
No, I like it.
And get fans invested and know, oh, this is like when Bray brought out the Fiend.
I was about to say, if you're going to bring it back, you have to treat it with respect, because if you don't, then it becomes meaningless again.
Yeah.
So the first time he brings it out, it has to be a W. Like, it has to be an unequivocal W.
So I see what Jones is saying, and yes, the demon had nothing to do with Vince. Because the demon, it was, I don't know the whole story. I know that Finn would paint his body like that in New Japan. I know that's something that he did long before WWE. However, I know that when he got to WWE, he created a story around it, and that it is a darker side that powers him up and has purpose. Vince turned it into the gimmick because, it looks cool. Instead of letting it breathe, letting it be this very special moment, like when he's ending a blood feud, like when he is battling someone like Damian Priest or a Gunter, where he needs to delve into his darker side to find the strength to win.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true. And I like what you're saying. And I think that's where Finn's mind is with the demon character in itself, the way he presented it. He only brings it out when he needs to, when it's most necessary. And I agree with you. I think under this regime, he could do it, and the story to be told behind it will be fantastic. But the story to be told for next week, that's starting in a couple minutes, guys. So, like we do at the end of every episode, guys, let them know where they can find you. Kevin, let them know where they can find you first.
Well, you can always find me on my Twitch channel at Kevin Kalloway Pro. This week I am streaming tomorrow, so Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, all at different times. The schedule's posted. I made sure to post it today. So if you go to that channel, hit that follow button. Schedule's right there in the sections. I am also at New Edge Pro, vying for the heavyweight championship on Friday in Waterford, Michigan. I am in Lansing for Lucha Boom on the 21st. And then I don't think I'll be in a match here, but I always like to plug them. Clash will be running on Sunday. They got a lot of good action. If you're in the Taylor area, always a good show.
Awesome. Yeah, fans, go out there, hit up Kevin, go see what he's doing. Here's his Twitch channel one more time. Go see it. I sat in on one last week, and let me say something. That's some fun stuff. I like the games you play. I like the interaction you have. It's definitely going to be a spot where the window lickers can go and just catch some cool vibes.
It's good vibes.
Good vibes.
Castle vibe.
All right. Oh, we hired a cut up. All right, blue-eyed villain.
Yes.
Let them know where they can find your pretty blue eyes, buddy.
You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Grunmeister. Primarily right now, all I do is talk about pro wrestling, especially on Friday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern, specifically about SmackDown. And come in, join in the conversation, because it's always better when you guys are hanging out with me, telling me what I should talk about.
Very true. All right, fans, you heard my friends, my co-host, the people who, we make sure that this show keeps going for so we can have a good time. I love talking Raw. It was great having you on here, Kevin, for your first official third chair sitting.
My official debut.
Yeah.
I have an overlay and everything. Look at it, so glorious.
You got an overlay? You got to get a tattoo, Grun. That's what they're saying. We got Jones hitting it up there. So everybody, come check us out every Monday at 7 p.m. where you can catch me and the blue-eyed villain and Kevin Kalloway now. We can actually say that. That's legit.
Yeah.
The Chaos Goblin himself is a part of our show. So come check us out every Monday at 7 p.m. where we talk about 3 things we want to talk about from the previous Raw to catch you up on this Raw, so you can get, you can be the one in the know. And when you're sitting there in your living room and your wife's like, what's happening? You could be like, hey, let me tell you. So I was just watching the Raw preview show, and those guys, that could be you. So join us every Monday at 7 p.m. where we can have some fun in the Window Lickers world, part of the In Your House network. You can also catch me on Friday when I go extreme with House. Me and House jump in a DeLorean and we go back to the 90s and early 2000s and we get extreme. Starting this week, fans, we are going more into the stories that were built in ECW. So we're going to go into ECW TV and we're going to start at a point and just watch it grow. And you're going to see exactly what me and House love about ECW. And if you're not done seeing me then, you can always catch me Sunday on the In Your House Sunday House Parties, where I and the rest of the crew who's available, we all talk wrestling throughout the week. Just last week, we dropped a huge announcement where we're going to be live, doing the pod live on November 30th it's Outhouse Records out in Kokomo, Indiana. Go be a part of it. There's games, prizes, everything you could want in a live event. But we also had Jack Vaughn on that episode, and that was fantastic. The man is a walking genius. He's a walking billboard. He's a walking great veteran. We love him in the ring. We love him, everything he's doing. He is Jack Vaughn. Go check him out. Check out the Sunday House Party and check out everything that my friends are doing. Everybody out there, we got the Raw deal with House and O'Neill. You can fact check us on Wednesdays and see if we got anything right. Most of the time we get it wrong, but you get there and Annie and House, they let you know exactly and they get you right on the path. So everybody, thank you so much for joining us and being a part of the Window Lickers and In Your House network. We absolutely cannot wait to see you next week. So until then, we'd like to say,
Shake?
The words you're looking for are thank and you. Put them together, they make a nice sound.